These are the solutions for the equations review. Any of the problems that you missed, just fix them with your pencil. Make sure that your study guide is completely accurate so that you're studying the correct material for Friday's test. All right, number 1, we have the inequality negative 1.1k is greater than or equal to 7.7. You need to divide both sides by negative 1.1. I do need to see that step. Okay, then the left side is k. If you divide by a negative, you have to flip your sign. And 7.7 divided by negative 1.1 is negative 7. On your number line, put your solution somewhere in the middle, and then we're going to number the surrounding numbers. It's less than or equal, so you need a closed circle that's going to go to the left on your number line. All right, second part, we're going to start by adding 10 on both sides. So we get negative 3x is greater than 18. Divide by negative 3. X is less than, we need to flip the sign, negative 6. So we're going to put negative 6. And this time we need an open circle to all the numbers to the left. All right, part 2. First of all, make sure you've changed that word to triangle. There was a typo. So we have the perimeter of the quadrilateral. I'm going to start with that piece right there. Okay, to set up my equation. So the perimeter of the quadrilateral is x plus 3 plus x plus 3. Okay, the word is represents our equal sign. And the second half, we're going to have half of the perimeter of the triangle. So I'm going to do 1/2 and then the perimeter of the triangle. I'm going to put this in parentheses because I want half of the whole entire thing. Okay, that's the equation that you're going to start off with when you solve this. Then we're going to just start simplifying each side. So this side can combine to be 2x plus 6. Over here, we've got 3x plus 16 with 1/2 in front. And then we're going to need to distribute. So half of 3x is 1.5x. Half of 16 is 8. Okay, now we have variables on both sides. So I'm going to subtract 1.5x. Here's a 0 pair, so we have half of an x plus 6 equals 8. We're going to subtract 6 on each side. So we get half of an x equals 2. We can either divide by 0.5 on each side, or you can multiply by 2. So half of 2 is 1. So we get 1x equals 4. Okay, now we're going to go back up to our picture. X equals 4. So right here, where we have x inches, I'm going to substitute that with 4 inches. I could do the same thing and label this side 8 inches and this side 11 inches. Part B says find the area. So area is just length times width, or base times height for a quadrilateral. So area equals 4 times 3, or 12. Okay, final step, we need to have correct units. Area is always measured in units squared. So our final solution is 12 inches squared, or 12 square inches. All right, number 3, write an expression with at least 7 terms that when you simplify it, it will equal 5 times x minus 1. Many of you missed this problem on the quiz, and it's because you didn't distribute first. So I would recommend distributing first, and that might help you get it correct on the test. So we're going to do 5 groups of x, which is 5x, 5 times negative 1, So minus 5. 5x minus 5. I can come up with any expression that I want as long as it simplifies to that. So I could do something like 7x plus 3x minus 5x plus 10 minus 5 minus 5 minus 5. And that is 7 terms exactly. You could do more. Now when I simplify all of this, I get 10x minus 5x, which is 5x. All of these terms, 10 minus 5 is 5, 5 minus 5 is 0, 0 minus 5 is negative 5. So that simplifies to be 5x minus 5. So you can pick your own terms, be a little bit creative, but you don't need to do much more than that. All right, now we're going to look at equation solving. So part A, you need to distribute. So we're going to start by doing 7.5 times 4. You're always welcome to work that out off to the side. So that's going to give us 30h minus 15 equals 26h plus 1. All right, now we need to combine variables. So I'm going to subtract 26h from both sides. Here's my 0 pair. So I get 4h minus 15 equals 1. Now add 15. So 4h equals 16. Divide by 4. H equals 4. Okay, and then you can always go back and check your answer, plug it back in, make sure that it works. All right, part B. 1/3 of 6 is 2, so I get 2c. 1/3 of 12 is 4. 1/4 of 8c is 2c. And 1/4 of negative 32 is negative 8. All right, I'm going to combine variables first. 0 pair on each side, and we get negative 4 equals negative 8. Now that is a false statement, so we're going to say that x has no solution. Okay, so remember that means that there is no number that we could plug in for c and have that equation be balanced on both sides. All right, part C, start by distributing. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Plus 5 minus 4y equals 3. Okay, next I'm going to combine like terms. So 3y and negative 4y is negative 1y. Negative 21 and positive 5 is negative 16. Add 16 to both sides. This is actually positive 3. 0 pair, so you get negative 1y equals 19. Okay, you are not done yet. You have to find out what positive 1y is. So divide by negative 1, and we get y equals negative 19. Okay, part D, distribute negative 5. Negative times a negative is a positive. A lot of you missed that on the last quiz, so just pay attention to the signs. Okay, 10 plus 3 is 13. Subtract 13 from each side. And then you're going to divide by negative 5. So a negative divided by a negative is positive. So m equals positive 5. And then just like always, go back and check it, make sure that it actually works. All right, part 5. We have an expression or a statement. It says 2 more than 4 times the quantity of a number n decreased by 5 is equal to 18 less than 4 times the quantity of a number n. So let's just break this apart. 2 more than 4 times the quantity of a number n decreased by 5. That's going to be the first side of my equation, because just like before, the word is represents our equal sign. All right, so we have 2 more than 4 times the quantity of. Quantity of means you're going to have parentheses around something. So the quantity of a number n decreased by 5. Okay, that expression is, or equals, and then the other side, 18 less than 4 times the quantity of a number n. So 18 less, I'm going to subtract 18 at the end, or you could do negative 18 plus. Okay, 4 times the quantity of a number n. So that's all we need to do is 4n minus 18. All right, now we have an equation to solve, so I'm going to start by distributing. So I have 2 plus 4n minus 20 equals 4n minus 18. We want to get the variables together first. Actually, let's simplify first. So 4n minus 18 equals 4n minus 18. And we can start to see that we have the same thing on each side. So subtract 4n. Okay, always continue just in case you miss something. And we get negative 18 equals negative 18. Okay, we know that that means that any number that you plug in for n is going to make that equation true. So for part B, are there any values for the unknown quantity which satisfy the equation? And we would say yes, n can be any real number and we can just say because when we solved it we got negative 18 equals negative 18, or because we got a true statement. Okay, you don't need to copy that exactly, but just have something along those lines that you can explain your answer. All right, part 6. This one has a little bit of geometry in it. So I did give you a big hint. That is an equation that you should know. So if you don't already know the volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height, that's something that you want to learn before Friday. So we have a rectangular prism with a volume of 576 cubic centimeters. The height is 12 centimeters and the length is 8 centimeters. We're going to solve this 2 different ways. The first way is the arithmetic way, and it only uses numbers, so it's more of an expression rather than an equation. For the arithmetic way, we're going to have 576, and we're going to divide that by 12 and then divide it by 8. Or you can do 12 times 8 and then whatever you get, divide that. So there is your arithmetic representation. Then we can start solving it. 12 times 8 is 106. And actually that is 96. And then 576 divided by 96 is going to give us 6. So since we're talking about a word problem and geometry, we need to make sure we put units on there. Okay, so there's your arithmetic way. Just an expression, no equal sign, no variables, just the numbers. The algebraic way, we're going to start with the equation volume equals length times width times height, and you're going to substitute in the things that you know. So volume, we know that. We know the height and we know the length. So 8 times W times 12. And then you're going to solve that equation. So we're going to get 576 equals 96 times the width, divide by 96 on each side, and we get 6 equals width. And then just like before, we're going to go back and add units on that. All right, that concludes part 1 of the review. Be sure to click on the next video to see part 2.